my gosh, right, okay, I finished reading Eclipse about 4 hours ago. Wow, seriously, wow. I've been waiting to get it delivered for ages. I hadn't actually started reading the series until like a couple of weeks ago now. A little bit more than that, I think. I went into a bookshop a few weeks ago on a Wednesday, basically, and on the off chance while I was waiting for a bus, and I left with Twilight on the recommendation of the shop girl. I went back in the next day after having read it from front cover to back in less than 10 hours. I went in and bought New Moon the next day, and I bought Eclipse, but they had to deliver it because they were out of stock. New Moon was gone in just under 12 hours, and they only just sent me Eclipse a couple of days ago, and I've been putting off reading it because I didn't want to have read it and then there not be anything else until August when Breaking Dawn comes out. I needed like sustenance, if you like. Anyway, I finally let myself start reading it yesterday afternoon it was, by the time I actually started doing it. Anyway, I picked it up at about maybe 2 o'clock ish, I think maybe it might be. Anyway, and by like bedtime I'd read it so slowly I didn't want to miss anything at all, and by the time I kind of got through to the end I was well and truly kind of knackered. Let myself go to sleep so that I wouldn't miss anything, and picked it up first thing this morning, and read the rest through today. So it was really, really good. I think that Twilight was better, but maybe that's only because they were more lovey-dovey. This was kind of more going deeper into the story. For those of you who have not read it yet, or who don't want to know what happens or anything like that, you know, turn off now, because this is going to basically tell you what happens. I'd already found out through watching videos like this, unfortunately, that Bella agrees to be turned into a vampire, although it doesn't actually happen, which I didn't realise until I got to the end of the book, obviously. You find out that they're getting married and everything like that, but obviously she doesn't actually get turned yet, and probably that's going to happen in Breaking Dawn. Which hopefully on the 31st of May, this month, the Eclipse special edition comes out. The paperback, I believe it is, with the first chapter of Breaking Dawn in it as well, so I'll buy that, and that gives you kind of an insight into what's going to happen in the next one, you know, which is really good. Another thing that I found really, really interesting is the fact that Stephanie goes a lot deeper into the Jacob and Bella side of things, which I think is really, really good, because I don't think it was enough explored. I think it makes Jacob a lot bigger in terms of being a character, because it was before kind of very much Edward and Bella and all these little people dotted around, and it was kind of went from them to kind of the Cullen family and Charlie, and then kind of went off from there, and Jacob was pretty much in the background, you know. His purpose right the way through, apart from that bit in New Moon where they were kind of good friends, you know, was very much just to tell Bella that Edward was a vampire. There's this whole plot twist where Jacob tries to imprint on Bella. For those of you that don't know, imprinting is similar to what happened between Bella and Edward. It's kind of love at first sight, but stronger. It's what happens when there's a connection. Once that connection's been made, it can be between a werewolf and any person, and of any age. One of the werewolves in Eclipse imprinted on a 2-year-old, you know, and that sounds really, really creepy, like Bella says in the book, but it's not. It's really, really sweet, because when that little girl grows up, as Bella says, she's going to be so loved and so looked after. When she wants a friend, that person is going to be her friend, you know, and when she wants more, that person will be there. As simple as that, really. And werewolves don't age as well. We find that out as well, which is really, really good. Bella gets quite peeved about that, because she finds out that as long as werewolves continue to phase, as long as Jacob continues to phase into a werewolf every now and then, he won't age. And she also gets an explanation for his growth spurt, all those times when she noticed that he was getting so much taller and he was like so much broader and everything like that. She finds out that when a werewolf actually becomes a werewolf, when a person becomes a werewolf for the first time, the change, if you like, I can't remember the proper term for it, what's it called, transformation, something like that, I can't remember. They kind of go through a huge growth spurt to become at their full growth, you know. So as Jacob said, he's got the body of a 25-year-old and the mind of a 16-year-old, you know, which is kind of weird. You know, the part at the end really shocked me. I didn't think that was going to happen. I honestly saw something a lot worse than that happening. No one died or anything like that, which, thank God, you know, good news. But I thought maybe she was going to, Stephanie was going to put a little bit more about the marriage in there, maybe a little bit more about Bella being turned. I was really sad when Jacob left at the end. I don't know what's going to happen. I've looked up all the frequently asked questions on the websites, and she basically won't say anything. Obviously, she's saying read Breaking Dawn, blah 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 blah. Again, which is really good. Another thing that I really liked, and the bit that I've gone back and read over and over again, is the parts where Edward kidnaps Bella. I think that's so funny. The part where she tries to sneak out at night to see Jacob. He doesn't like her seeing Jacob because he thinks Jacob's too dangerous and that he's not in control of when he phases, so that he might phase in front of her and bite her, hurt her. Take Emily, for example, who is Sam's fiance. They are obviously very close. Sorry, I just got a pop-up there. Go away! Take Emily, for example. Her face is really badly damaged because Sam lost control around her, and Edward's concerned the same thing is going to happen. So when Bella tries to sneak out, Alice gets a vision that Bella's trying to go and see Jacob, or rather she doesn't get a vision because she can't see the werewolves, so everything goes blank for her, so she knows that Bella's doing something that concerns Jacob, if you know what I mean. When that happens, when Bella gets into her truck, Edward is sitting there with part of the engine in his hands, spinning it around, and he won't let her leave. I think that is so cool. And then the part where Bella gets Bella gets in the car one night, Alice is waiting for her, all the locks go down, and she gets taken back to the Cullen house. And she finds out that because Edward and Emmett have gone on a hunting trip to Carolina, I believe, to catch mountain lions, that she's going to be kept so that she can't go and visit them. And then the next day Jacob turns up on his motorcycle looking pretty damn fine by the description in the book, and whisks Bella off. And wow, the part where he kisses her as well, I was absolutely glued to the book. And he kisses her and she like punches him and she breaks her knuckles. She actually breaks her jaw doing it. She has to have a brace put on. And oh my god, the part where Edward threatens Jacob, oh my god, what was it he says? Ever return her to me in the less than perfect condition I left her in, and you will be running with 3 legs. Oh my god, I love that part. That is just so totally, you know, seriously, no man is ever going to be good enough for me after reading these books. That is just such a huge letdown. And the part where Jacob is like at the end when he hears them talking in the tent and he hears them say that they're going to get married, and he finds out and you hear like a howl and he's really upset. Oh, it's so sad. I hope they make a movie, I really do. I don't know if there's a massive story to make a movie from, because if you think about it, the only story really is being carried on, so they might have to kind of bulk it out a little bit, but I don't know what they would do. But I think it would be really interesting if they did do it. I certainly think that New Moon's going to be very big, and obviously Breaking Dawn's going to be massive. I don't think they'll make a movie about Midnight Sun, which I think is going to be released after Breaking Dawn, because that's just the story of Twilight from another perspective, which is pretty much the same thing. You know, we all know what happens, we all know the ending, it's just how it's told that matters. Overall, I think it was a really fantastic book. I've read it about, I think I've started reading it again and I've got about halfway through, so wow. Just go out and buy the book and read it. Make sure you read them all in order and read them as fast as possible. Go through them all, but pay attention to what you're reading, because there's a lot to take in, little details. You will fall in love with them, like I have. I actually dragged my best friend Tanya into the bookstore in Carlisle today. In Carlisle, I know it's so cool that I live near Carlisle, and it's so cool. I dragged her into the bookstore in Carlisle today, Waterstones in Carlisle, to show her the books and make her read the back cover, and she actually left with Twilight, and it's, oh my god, she's going to be addicted like me. So wow, just go and read the book and just enjoy it, because it's really good. Have fun, and I'll speak to you soon. I've only got like 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 second remaining, so bye.